Okay, this is now being streamed. Welcome to this meeting of the Alcohol and Gambling Licensing Subcommittee to your application for Little Europe Supermarket. First point of call is to appoint a chair. So could I have a proposer for a chair, please?
Proposer. Councillor Sargent, yeah.
Thank you.
Seconder, Councillor Bowen.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Councillor Sargent, over to you.
Declarations of interest, anybody? No. Due to introductions, I'm chairing. My name's Brian Sargent.
Councillor Rosie Humphreys.
Elizabeth Bowen.
Yeah, sorry, it was on mute.
It's
yes,
all right.
Elizabeth Bowen.
Democratic Services.
Thank you, Chair. Richard Woods, Democratic Services Officer at West Northampton Council.
A legal officer.
James Chadwick, I'm the legal advisor to the panel today.
An air licensing officer.
Eleanor Flannery, I'm a licensing officer at West Northampton Council.
Thank you. Everybody's had the paperwork, have they? The agenda? Are there any primary issues anyone wishes to raise? The hearing is in respect of the aforementioned application for the review of the premises licence. I'd like the licensing officer to introduce the report.
Thank you, Chair. So the purpose of the report is to consider an application for review of a premises licence in accordance with Section 51 of the Licensing Act 2003, the Act, made by Northamptonshire Police, the applicant, in respect of the premises licence held by Mr. Shvan Mohammed Hamadin, with regard to Little Europe Supermarket of 10 Wellington Place, Northampton, NM1 3RQ, which is the premises. This shop is a premises in the town centre area of Northampton. The application, which can be found at Appendix A, was received by West Northamptonshire Council on the 24th of April 24. Further police evidence accompanying that application can be found at Appendix D. It's recommended that the licensing subcommittee consider the application for premises licence review put before them under the Prevention of Crime and Disorder objective. The reason for the recommendation is to accord with the legislation or the policy of the Council. The review is being made on the grounds of crime and disorder. The licence, which is at Appendix B for this premises, relates to the following regulated activities. That's the sale of alcohol off premises only, and that's Monday to Sunday, 8 AM till 11 PM. The opening times for the store are 8 AM till 11 PM. The current premises licence holder is a Mr. Shvan Hamad Amin, and the licence has been in force since August 2017. Mr. Hamad Amin has been the licence holder since April 2024. The designated premises supervisor is also listed as Mr. Mohammed Hamad Amin, whose personal licence was issued by Northampton Borough Council, which is now West Northampton Council. The issues and choices. Upon application of a review, at the end of the consultation period, the licensing authority must hold a hearing to consider it and any other representations made. It must take steps as it considers appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives, which are the prevention of crime and disorder, public safety, the prevention of public nuisance, and the protection of children from harm. The options available to the subcommittee are to modify the conditions of the licence, exclude a licensable activity from the scope of the licence, remove the current designated premises supervisor, suspend the licence for a period not exceeding 3 months, revoke the licence, or take no action. In attendance today, we should have PC Brian representing Northamptonshire Police, along with Christopher Rees-Gay from Woodsworth and the licence holder, Mr. Shvan Mohammed Hamadin. Thank you, Chair.
Any questions for the licensing officer from anybody?
No, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We'll go to the review applicant, which is PC Dave Bryan.
Thank you, Chair. Members of the committee. PC Tracy sends her apologies for today. I'm presenting the review on her behalf, and I have been briefed on the discussions that PC Tracy's had with Mr. Rees-Gay. You'll have the paperwork in front of you. The review paper is brief, and Chair, if it's all right with you, I don't propose to go through it with you. What's on there is plain to see. You'll have the statement from PC Laren regarding a test purchase that took place on the 23rd of April. I have the packet of cigarettes here, should you wish to see them, or Mr. Rees-Gay needs to see them. I understand that discussions were made between PC Tracy and the applicant's representative, and a number of conditions have been agreed. I think it would probably be more pertinent for Mr. Rees-Gay to go into that when it is his time to speak. But I'm here to answer any questions in regards to the paperwork as best I can on what PC Tracy has handed over to me. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, sir. Could we have the review respondent now to make his representations to us?
Thank you, Chair. Yes. Sorry, Chris Rees-Gay from Woodsworth Solicitors, and with me is Mr. Hammerdin, the premises license holder. So, Chair, can you just confirm you have had a time to look at the 67 pages of supporting documentation? Because I just will be referring. Lovely, thank you. So my presentation.
There it is.
Perfect. Cover the following: a brief background of the operator and the steps taken since the review application itself, and then the agreement reached with the police. So today we seek the review hearing being dealt with by way of the adding of further agreed conditions to the premises license. So Mr. Hammerdin became the premises license holder for the store, as you've heard, in April this year. He sought professional help as soon as the review was launched and has taken the matter very seriously. In terms of his personal background, he's worked in the previous 2 years in the retail industry in stores in both Wellingborough and Northampton prior to taking on this premises. As a result of the review, Mr. Hammerdin and his staff have undertaken independent third-party training in relation to the licensing objectives, and in particular in relation to illicit goods and those of illicit cigarettes. This was given by Daryl Butterworth, a retired police superintendent, on the 7th of June. And if you look at pages 21 to 66 of the supporting documents, you will see the slides covering the training that was given. Mr. Butterworth also carried out a compliance visit, checking the relevant signage and adherence to conditions. From that, a number of points were raised that it wasn't 100%. And so a second visit was then undertaken on the 13th of June. And then you get a second statement from Mr. Butterworth confirming that all issues have now been remedied, this being at pages 19 and 20 of the supporting documentation. Mr. Hammerdin can now confidently say that he has been trained and can and will promote the licensing objectives. In addition, further conditions were initially offered in relation to the sale of illicit goods, and that can be found at page 12 of the supporting documentation. I will run you through what was finally agreed with the police in the end. Looking then at the review, as set out in that initial correspondence of the 4th of June, the intelligence in relation to this store simply is not relevant. The previous intelligence, it's years old, and indeed is no reflection of Mr. Hammerdin himself. Therefore, this review was launched on the back of one failed test purchase for one packet of cigarettes. In line then with the section 182 guidance, paragraph 1110, and I will read it verbatim: where authorised persons and responsible authorities have concerns about problems identified at the premises, it is good practice for them to give licence holders early warning of their concerns and the need for improvement. And where possible, they should advise the licence or certificate holder of the steps they need to take to address those concerns. A failure by the holder to respond to such warnings is expected to lead to a decision to apply to review. Cooperation at the local level in promoting the licensing objectives should be encouraged, and review should not be used to undermine this cooperation. So, as you will be aware, there was no early warnings given by the police to Mr. Hammerdin. It was just straight in with a licensing review. This is also supported by Daryl Butterworth, and this can be found in line with his statement in his first statement, paragraphs 10 and 11, and that's page 17, whereby he finds it is with his police licensing background, it's very unusual that a single packet of cigarettes would prompt a revocation of a license. He also states that in his experience, again as a police officer, that a new license holder would be notified of any ongoing problems by the local police first off. That aside, Chair, liaison has taken place with the police, with PC Tracy, who launched the review, and indeed conditions have been agreed as a way of dealing with the review. And if I could please turn you up to those, and those are pages 3 to 5 of the supporting documents.
Yeah.
Just to run you through. So what has been agreed is that the old operating schedule that's currently on the license will be disregarded, and instead all of these conditions, which mirror all of the conditions that were already on the license, but strengthens them. So in summary, the CCTV conditions have been enhanced. There is now a requirement for an incident log that there wasn't before. There's a requirement to ensure that all staff have the right to work in the UK. That wasn't on the license before. Enhanced training requirements, including specifically in relation to illicit goods. Bespoke conditions in relation to not purchasing from cold callers, and that all alcohol, tobacco products be purchased from a bona fide wholesaler. So that deals squarely with the illicit goods element, which is why we're here today. So it is with this in mind and this agreement that has been reached with the police who launched the review, that the committee, under their powers of section 52(4)(a) of the Act, that the review be dealt with by modifying the conditions on the licence. Chair, those are my submissions. Should you have any questions of either myself or Mr. Hammerdin, we're here to take them. Thank you.
Eleanor Lannery, have you any questions for the gentleman? As
No,
our
thank
licensed officer? No,
Thank you, Chair.
nothing?
Nothing at this stage.
PC Brian, any questions?
No, thank you, Chair.
Committee? No. The only thing I'd like to raise is on the balance of probability. I know it's only one packet of cigarettes. Now, I assume our officers chased it fully. On the balance of probabilities, there could be more, but with the agreement of this police report, I think we can discontent that. Do you agree with me, James?
The position is that the review's been applied for, and you have to consider whether it would the licensing objectives have been upheld, and so the issue here is whether what the parties propose between them is appropriate to uphold licensing objectives going forward. So I think that's the most relevant concern is the fact that there has been agreement as to steps that would be taken with regard to the premises license going forward, and it's for you to decide if you're happy with those, rather than the reasons why the police and the party may have come to that agreement.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Chair?
Yeah, quite happy. Mr. Rees-Gray, can you do your follow-up?
Yes, Chair. So in summary then, this was the first issue in relation to illegal cigarettes with this specific premises licence holder. Initially, a stepped approach was not adopted by the police, although we have worked with them, and I thank them for that. The premises licence holder has taken the matter seriously, undertaking training with an external third party, and in particular in relation to illegal cigarettes. Conditions have been agreed with the police, and there is now an onerous full operating schedule should those conditions be agreed. It is on this basis of this agreement with the police who launched the review that we request that conditions on the premises licence be modified in line with section 52(4)(a) of the Act as an appropriate means of dealing with the review and promoting the licensing objectives. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Eleanor, do you want to sum up?
Brian, before Eleanor sums up, I just have a quick question.
Far away.
Okay. Christopher, does your client is he any relation to the previous managers of that particular shop?
You're not related, no?
No.
No connections?
No.
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 No, at all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Byrne.
Thank you. PC, Brian, can you like to sum up, sir?
Thank you, Chair. Not much to sum up from me, I'm afraid. As I said, the conditions have been agreed, and we thank Mr. Rees-Gay in respect of that. And once those conditions are approved by yourself, should you wish to do so, clearly, should there be any illegal activity at that premises in the future, then we can always look at potential reviews or stepped approaches if that occurs. Thank you.
Thank you. And any questions for PC, Brian? No? We'll adjourn then and make our decision. Thank you for attendance, everybody. You'll get this within 5 days. If you're not happy with it, you can go to the magistrates with it within 21. Thank you, everybody.